Did you know fermentation can be used to clean up oil spills, reclaim polluted water, and degrade harmful plastics? Venture into any corner of civilized life today, and you'll find fermentation at work. This remarkable process is as ubiquitous as it is transformative. From the effervescence in your champagne glass to the fluffy rise of your morning toast, fermentation is a culinary marvel. Yet it's not merely confined to our kitchens and dining tables. The pharmaceutical industry, for instance, relies heavily on fermentation for the production of life-saving drugs. Insulin, antibiotics, vaccines, all owe their existence to this biological process. Similarly, the biofuel sector harnesses the power of fermentation to convert biomass into sustainable energy sources. Even our waste management systems employ fermentation, transforming organic waste into compost, aiding in environmental conservation. This ancient technique, harnessed by humans since the dawn of civilization, is now a cornerstone of modern technology and innovation. It's not just about brewing beer, baking bread, or making wine. Indeed, the power of fermentation extends far beyond the confines of a simple yeast-raised loaf or a fine bottle of Cabernet. To truly appreciate the marvel of fermentation, one must dive into the molecular world. Fermentation, at its most intricate, is a biochemical symphony composed by nature. It's a process orchestrated by enzymes, nature's catalysts, which facilitate the conversion of complex organic compounds into simpler ones. Powering this transformation is adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, the energy currency of life. Enzymes such as hexokinase and phosphofructokinase kickstart the process known as glycolysis, the first stage of fermentation. In this phase, one molecule of glucose, a 6-carbon sugar, is split into 2 molecules of pyruvate, a 3-carbon compound. This division also generates 2 molecules of ATP and 2 molecules of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or NADH, a key player in the energy transfer within cells. However, glycolysis creates a problem. It generates NADH, but does not consume it, leading to a depletion of its precursor, NAD+. Without NAD+, glycolysis grinds to a halt and energy production ceases. This is where the second stage of fermentation comes in, the regeneration of NAD+. In this phase, pyruvate, the end product of glycolysis, is transformed, consuming NADH and recreating NAD+ in the process. The product of this transformation depends on the type of fermentation. In alcoholic fermentation, carried out by yeasts and some bacteria, pyruvate is converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide, regenerating NAD+ in the process. In lactic acid fermentation, performed by certain bacteria and muscle cells, pyruvate is reduced to lactic acid, again with a concomitant regeneration of NAD+. While fermentation is usually associated with anaerobic conditions, it also occurs in the presence of oxygen. The key difference lies in the destination of the pyruvate. Under aerobic conditions, pyruvate enters the mitochondria for further breakdown, while under anaerobic conditions, it undergoes fermentation. Different organisms exploit these processes to their advantage, depending on the availability of oxygen. In essence, the seemingly simple act of fermentation is a complex dance of molecules, a testament to the beauty of nature's chemistry. As we stand on the precipice of a new era, the humble process of fermentation is poised to play a pivotal role in our future. Envisage a future where the cosmos is no longer a domain exclusive to the stars, but a new frontier for humankind. As we venture forth into the vast expanse of space, the ancient art of fermentation may well be our most vital companion. Consider the challenge of sustaining life in the harsh environments of outer space or on distant planets. Traditional agriculture, as we know it, may prove unfeasible. Here, fermentation could be our salvation. By harnessing the power of microorganisms to convert organic matter into sustenance, we could sustain life far beyond that of our own blue planet. But the potential of fermentation stretches even further. Imagine the possibilities if we could genetically modify these microscopic fermenters to optimize this process. By tweaking their genetic makeup, we could tailor-make yeast or bacteria to produce exactly what we need, whether it's a specific nutrient, a therapeutic drug, or a novel biofuel. This is not mere conjecture. The fields of synthetic biology and metabolic engineering are already making strides in this direction. enabling us to reprogram organisms at a molecular level. The potential applications are staggering, from revolutionizing the food industry by creating healthier, more sustainable products, to accelerating pharmaceutical manufacturing by producing life-saving drugs more efficiently and economically. Yet, as with any scientific endeavor, this future is fraught with challenges. Ethical questions about genetic modification, practical issues of scalability, and the ever-present uncertainty of unintended consequences. But these are hurdles to be overcome, not barriers to progress. As we continue to unravel the intricacies of this ancient process, one thing is clear: fermentation, in its many forms, will continue to shape our world, and perhaps even others. Moving ahead from the future of fermentation, let's learn a little about the unsung heroes of this magical process: fungi. Yes, you guessed it. From the fluffy loaf of bread to the frothy pint of beer, none of it would be doable without these microscopic wonders. The most well-known fungus in fermentation is yeast, a single-celled organism that devours sugars, breaking them down into alcohol and carbon dioxide. This is the secret behind the rise of our bread and the buzz in our beer. But yeast isn't the sole fungus at the fermentation fest. Molds, like those in the Aspergillus family, play a significant role too, mainly in the fermentation of Asian foods like soy sauce, miso, and sake. The biological and evolutionary processes that enable fungi to ferment are an amazing natural phenomenon. Yeast, for instance, has adapted to flourish in oxygen-poor environments, where it transitions from respiring to fermenting, a process that yields the alcohol we all adore. But it's not only about the alcohol. The harmonious relationship between humans and fermenting fungi goes back millennia. These organisms have aided us in food preservation, flavor development, and even in disease prevention. They've been our quiet allies in survival, revolutionizing our diets and our cultures along the way. So the next time you savor a slice of sourdough or enjoy a glass of wine, remember the fungi. From our bread to our beer, from our cheese to our wine, we owe a lot to these microscopic wonders. They're not merely the future of fermentation, as we covered previously, but they're also its past and its present. Before we go, one fascinating but lesser-known application of fermentation lies in the realm of bioremediation. This involves using microorganisms, including those responsible for fermentation, to break down and remove pollutants from the environment. Here are some specific examples. Cleaning up oil spills. Specially cultured bacteria can ferment hydrocarbons present in oil spills, effectively biodegrading them into harmless substances. This method offers a more sustainable and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cleanup methods. Reclaiming polluted water. Fermentation processes can be used to treat wastewater contaminated with heavy metals, organic pollutants, and even pharmaceuticals. Microbes can either directly absorb and degrade these contaminants or transform them into less harmful forms. Degrading plastics. While still in its early stages, research is exploring the use of fungi and bacteria that can ferment and break down specific types of plastic, offering a potential solution to the growing plastic pollution problem. Remediating soil contamination. Similar to water treatment, fermentation can be employed to clean up soil contaminated with pesticides, herbicides, and other agricultural chemicals. Microbes can degrade these harmful compounds, restoring the soil's health and fertility. Beyond bioremediation, other rare and intriguing applications of fermentation include producing bioplastics. Some bacteria can ferment sugars into biodegradable plastics, offering a more sustainable alternative to traditional petroleum-based plastics. Developing new biofuels. Researchers are exploring the use of fermentation to produce advanced biofuels with higher energy density and lower emissions compared to conventional biofuels. Creating biobatteries. Certain microbes can be used in microbial fuel cells, where fermentation processes generate electricity, offering a potential renewable energy source. If this adventure has captivated your interest and stirred up your intrigue about the possibilities of fermentation, don't hesitate to smash that like button. To stay in the loop with more captivating and enlightening science content, make sure to click on the subscribe button. Your support propels us forward to continue creating in-depth studies into the scientific procedures shaping not just our planet, but potentially other realms as well.
you.